This is booked for drama, where stories burn, hearts break, the tea is always hot and never a part 2. Today we're diving into love deceptions and rebirth. Let's go. Chapter 1. Everyone could hear the unspoken thoughts of Ethan's first love, except me. When she returned from abroad and attended my engagement party with Ethan Parker, she appeared carefree, offering her warmest congratulations. But inside, her heart whispered, I still love Ethan, but he's moved on so quickly to someone else he loves. If I'd known it'd end like this, I wouldn't have rejected him out of insecurity. Ethan's eyes reddened instantly, but they didn't know, I was reborn. In this life, I could hear her thoughts too. At the engagement party, everyone raised a toast for Ethan and me. Including Ethan's first love, Chloe Brooks. She glided over in a low-cut white dress, raising a glass of red wine. Ethan, congrats on your engagement. Her smile was gentle, but her heart wasn't as soft as her expression. Ethan's fiancé is stunning and accomplished. I should let go, but I'm not ready. I still love Ethan, and he moved on so fast to someone better. If I'd known it'd end like this, I wouldn't have rejected him out of insecurity. Ethan froze, his fingers tightening around his glass. His eyes darkened, filled with something raw. Mindful of the crowd, he said nothing, just gazed at her deeply. Unseen by others, I watched it all unfold, my face calm, my heart cold. In my last life, it had been exactly the same. Despite our engagement, once Ethan learned Chloe still loved him, he spiraled into self-destruction, drinking until dawn while I waited at home, calling until midnight, only to hear him slur, not coming back. I tracked him down through his friend, found him at a bar, and saw him kissing Chloe passionately. Why didn't you say yes back then? Happy now? I'm engaged to someone else. His smile to her was bitter. My heart turned to ice. 2 years of love, an engagement ring, and to him, I was just someone else. Ethan, this is wrong. You're engaged, but I love you so much. Chloe threw herself into his arms, tearful, pitiful. In the end, I watched them check into a hotel, tumbling into bed. Snapping back to the present, I saw Ethan's reluctant eyes, and found it almost laughable. Back at the party, Ethan introduced Chloe. Claire, this is my childhood friend, Chloe Brooks. She looked after me when we were young. We've always been close. Outwardly friendly, her inner voice betrayed her. Claire? That name sounds familiar. She looks familiar too. Oh, I remember. I saw her checking into a hotel with a 50-something man, a king-size room. What do I do? Should I tell Ethan? He deserves better than a woman like her. Her thoughts trembled with fake concern. I noticed Ethan's grip tighten, his knuckles widening around his glass, his gaze on me sharpening with anger. Chloe hadn't spoken aloud, clearly her thoughts again. No wonder, after the party in my past life, Ethan suddenly grew cold and refused to drive me home. It was late, he ditched me, and I took a cab. On the way, I was dragged into an alley by thugs and assaulted. I made it home battered and broken. When Ethan finally showed up hours later, he saw me, slapped me across the face, and snarled that I was shameless, just a slut. I wanted to laugh but couldn't. 2 years of love, and he trusted Chloe's silent accusations more than he trusted me. Whatever she said, he believed, so easily assuming I had cheated. The truth was, I was attacked because he left me alone. But to him, I had willingly degraded myself. I simply said 2 words, icy and final, Claire. I watched her smile freeze, awkwardly pull her hand back, and feign hurt. Seems Ethan's fiancé doesn't like me. Oh well, for Ethan's sake, I'll bear it. Chloe sighed inwardly, adjusting her expression to a gentle smile. Ethan frowned at me. Claire, even if you don't like Chloe, you don't have to embarrass her in front of me. Embarrassing her is embarrassing me. Chapter 2. I laughed, a sharp, cold sound. Embarrass you? Ethan, who do you think you are? He flinched, clearly not expecting me, always kind, always gentle, to snap like this. Is it me embarrassing you, or you can't stand seeing your precious childhood friend embarrassed? I mocked, lips curling. At my words, guilt flickered in Ethan's eyes, but the moment he recalled Chloe's thoughts about me with the older man, it vanished. Claire, what's wrong with you? You were never like this. Disappointment clouded his eyes. This engagement party, Ethan's parents had barely shown up. They didn't like me. More precisely, they didn't like my supposed background. With Ethan, I'd posed as an ordinary only child from a modest family. I chased him first, and he, moved, finally agreed to date me. But in my last life, after Ethan's betrayal and indifference, I got into a car accident and fell into a coma. My grieving parents died in a crash shortly after, heartbroken and distracted behind the wheel. Ethan's too kind, can't bear to scold her, but she's cheating with an old man for money. I can't let him go astray. Once Claire's gone, I'll tell him. Chloe's silent thoughts dripped with false concern. Hearing her, Ethan grew bolder. Claire, I didn't care about your average background, even fought my parents for you, and you talked to me like this? And don't forget what you did behind my back. You have no right to act like this. I felt like a joke. He trusted Chloe so blindly, without question, ignoring every second of our 2-year relationship. Or maybe, he just loved Chloe more. And I was just a placeholder after she left. If I'd held any hope before Chloe's thoughts, now, even that was gone. I shrugged, dismissive, sure, you're right. I've got no right. After the party, I asked Ethan to drive me home. You go ahead. Chloe came alone, it's not safe for her. I'll drive her. Chloe's eyes sparkled with triumph, but she said, Ethan, that's not right. It's unsafe for Claire too. Her heart said otherwise. I miss when Ethan walked me home from school. I'm night blind, scared of the dark, and he is always worried, escorting me. Claire's so lucky to have him, but he's not mine anymore. I wish he'd drive me home like before, but I've no right to ask. She lingered in her own longing. Ethan's gaze softened, guilt creeping in. Ethan, my parents sent the driver home early. You promised to take me. Now you're driving Chloe instead. How am I supposed to get home? My tone was cool, edged with mockery, making Ethan briefly regretful, then annoyed. Claire, can't you speak nicely? Why so snarky? Chapter 3. I almost laughed. Too much? In my last life, I compromised. When he said he'd drive Chloe, I mentioned the driver was gone. He snapped back, telling me to take a cab and be reasonable. And my reasonableness got me beaten in an alley, hospitalized, and then called a slut when I got home bruised and broken. Why be sensible now? Chloe stepped in, mediating. Claire, Ethan didn't mean it. You just got engaged. Why make it ugly? She played peacekeeper, but her thoughts were sharp. Claire's temper seems rough. If they marry, won't Ethan have to walk on eggshells around her? So humiliating. I feel bad for him. Ethan, already irked by my jabs, found comfort in Chloe's thoughts. He looked at me with growing disdain. A smooth, refined voice cut through the tension. Miss Claire, how about I drive you home? Your fiancé seems more interested in driving his childhood friend than giving you a ride. It was Nathan Cole, my boss, heir to the Cole Group, and now its CEO. He approached, standing beside me, adjusting his gold-rimmed glasses. I hadn't expected Nathan to help, we weren't close. At work, we only met for formal handoffs or meetings. In my last life, this never happened. I didn't know why this life was different, but I wouldn't waste the chance. Under Ethan's sour look, I smiled at Nathan. Sounds good. I agreed fast, surprising everyone, including Nathan. What, not driving me home? Let's go. I raised a brow, smiling brightly. Nathan blinked, his smile spreading, opening the car door, gesturing me in. Claire, you dare get in another man's car in front of me? Ethan's face darkened, fury blazing. At his outrage, I leaned on Nathan's shoulder, smiling softly. You dare drive another woman home in front of me. Of course I dare ride with another man. Ethan's face turned livid as I got into Nathan's car. I took the passenger seat. Miss Claire, still playing Cinderella? Your fiancé's parents don't seem fond of your humble background. Nathan's lips curved faintly, hinting at amusement. I'd almost forgotten. Nathan wasn't just my boss but my neighbor. 6 or 7 years older, in his 30s. Despite being neighbors, we rarely crossed paths. He was busy as the Cole heir. So was I. I'd hidden my identity with Ethan. The Parkers didn't know my real background. Compared to the Harper family, their wealth was new money. Nathan, however, was the golden boy, the other people's child, I used to hate. Now, he was my exploitative boss, and I couldn't even curse him openly. Thanks, Mr. Cole. No need to worry. I'll treat you to dinner soon. Slapping Ethan's face in front of lingering guests felt oddly satisfying. Nathan's lips curved. Where to? Back to your place with Ethan? Before I answered, my phone rang. Ethan's furious voice. Claire, enough. Why aren't you home this late? It was 11:30 p.m. in my last life. He wasn't home until past 1 a.m., tangled with Chloe. Now, calling at 11:30, clearly because I left with Nathan. He drove Chloe, rushed home, found me gone, and called. How utterly ridiculous. When I cared, he was with Chloe. When I didn't, he raced home to check on me. Home for what? This late, I'm obviously off to a hotel with an older man. Chapter 4. I said it lightly, teasingly, daring him to lose control. Before he could react, I hung up, blocked him. Furious and helpless, Ethan stared at his blank screen, his face turning pale as he slammed his fist on the table. Hotel with an older man? Miss Claire, so bold. Does Mr. Harper know? After I hung up, Nathan chuckled. Caught up in my own venting, I'd forgotten Nathan was still there. I stiffened, embarrassed. Before I could explain it was just to provoke Ethan, Nathan cut in, smiling. Speaking of which, I am 6 or 7 years older. If you're looking for an older man, why not consider me? Next morning, I woke to dozens of missed calls, everyone from Ethan. Seeing I didn't answer, he sent messages. Claire, come home tonight, and I'll forgive you. Don't make me mad. If you don't, we're done. Don't blame me for being cold. I told Chloe we're just friends. We've been together so long, and you still don't trust me? Reading them, I thought he was unhinged, blocked him, and went to work. At noon, leaving the office, Chloe spotted me, eyes lighting up, approaching. Claire, don't be mad at Ethan. He knows he messed up. Look, he's over there, drove to pick you up. I followed her gaze. Ethan was leaning against his car, staring coldly at us, not moving a muscle, as if he knew I'd come running to him. Miss Chloe, I said coolly, why assume I'll forgive Ethan? Don't you think I'm beneath him? You love him, be with him. Why pretend to disgust me? Chloe hadn't expected me to call out her feelings. She paled. Claire, you've misunderstood. Her weak attempt at innocence annoyed me. I pushed past her to leave. But Chloe, unsteady on her feet, stumbled and fell to the ground. Her eyes instantly welled up, pitiful and fragile looking. Ethan, seeing her fall, rushed over and shoved me hard. Claire, what are you doing? Can't we talk it out? You had to push Chloe? He helped her up, yelling, his face dark with anger. His shove sent me stumbling backward onto the pavement. Fury surged through me. I stood, marched straight back, and slapped him, hard. I didn't spare Chloe either. I backhanded her too. Their faces flushed red with the sting of my palm. Ethan, Chloe said you were here to apologize? Is this your apology? Shoving me for no reason and screaming like an idiot? I was blind to fall for a scumbag like you. We're done. You and your childhood sweetheart can roll in bed. Scum and schemer, perfect match. I'm out. I turned and left, ignoring Ethan's furious shout. Claire, don't regret this. Regret? I only regretted loving a scumbag. Chapter 5. After the breakup, I quit Nathan's company and returned to the Harper family to take over our wealth and business. The Harper group was massive, and as the heiress, it was time I stepped up. Back then, Ethan thought I was just some ordinary girl, struggling with part-time jobs and scholarships. He felt pity for me, which made him extra gentle. I was afraid he'd be angry if he found out who I really was, so I kept it hidden. In my past life, I had planned to tell him after we got engaged. But he chose Chloe instead, and I forgot all about it. Now, it didn't matter, I was done with him. Chloe was a heiress too, but the Brooks family was fading, aiming to climb via the Parkers. They sent her back to snag Ethan and climb the social ladder. With Ethan, Chloe was a delicate flower. Without him, her true colors showed. She studied dance abroad, and online, she was praised as a talented, hardworking dancer. With her heiress status, fans called her a kind, diligent princess. Now, Chloe posted online, my crush and his girlfriend broke up. Should I confess? I'm too scared. Comments exploded. Go confess. Don't miss your chance. Wow, an heiress like her crushing on someone? He must be amazing. Same. Anyone else curious how they split up? Insider here, her crush is a certain Parker group heir. Wasn't he engaged? Heard he fought his family for her. How'd they split? Gotta be the fiancé's fault. He fought his family for her. If they split, it's not his fault. So the heiress has been pining, loving him in vain? Wait, look, Parker heir reposted her post. Ethan. I misjudged, loved the wrong person, but I promise, I'll love you right from now on. Fans cheered. My ship's sailing. Soon, Ethan and Chloe's epic love story went viral. Netizens bashed me, saying Ethan truly loved me, but I didn't cherish it, that I wasn't worthy of him. In my office, buried in paperwork, my assistant cautiously brought me updates. Miss Harper, should we respond to this? I glanced up, slowly sipping my coffee. No, let it brew. Chloe may have won everyone's sympathy with her innocent act, but not everyone's a fool. One slip up, and her mind reading would become her downfall. With this online storm, the Parkers and Brooks announced their engagement. Save the invitation for me. I'll slap their faces myself. Chapter 6. Ethan and Chloe's wedding invited every major figure in Coastal City, plus lesser families. It was clear both sides took the union seriously. Compared to my engagement, where only Ethan's rowdy friends showed up and the guest list was sparse, this was extravagant. To watch the show unfold, I wore a low-cut black dress, hugged tightly around my curves. As soon as I walked in, all eyes were on me. Guests looked stunned, curious, even excited. Most knew of my history with Ethan. Ethan, in a white suit, stood beside Chloe in a pristine wedding gown. Following the crowd's gaze, Ethan spotted me slipping in. His face twisted into a smug grin. Claire, you said we were done, yet here you are chasing me. Do you have no shame? I love Chloe now. We're over. His tone dripped with arrogance and superiority. The crowd whispered, didn't his ex-fiancée used to be some nobody? If he didn't invite her, how'd she get in? Maybe she slept her way in. Chloe, clutching Ethan's sleeve, said softly, Ethan, don't be so harsh. She's a guest. Arrange a seat for her. She seemed gracious, but inside her head, she was panicking. What do I do? Ethan was with Claire. Is she here to taunt me? Will she ruin our wedding? Her thoughts turned the guests' gazes toward me into scornful glares. I heard it all, but I didn't care. I strode forward and sat down elegantly in a VIP seat. No need to arrange a seat. I'm fine here. Seeing me in the VIP section, Ethan snapped. Claire, stop acting ridiculous. That seat is for the CEO of the Harper Group. If you don't leave now, when the CEO arrives, you'll offend them, and I can't save you. I sat calmly, legs crossed, holding a wine glass with a smirk. What if I don't? And how do you know I don't belong here? Ethan laughed. Impossible. Why not? A man in a black suit and glasses hurried over, standing respectfully before me. Sorry, Miss Harper, I'm late. Ethan scoffed. Claire, a hired actor, isn't going to fool me. Just then, his phone rang, his assistant called. Mr. Parker, Miss Harper's secretary, said she arrived early. I just entered to find her. The call was on speaker, loud enough for everyone to hear. Chapter 7. Ethan's face twisted in shock and disbelief. You're really the CEO? But isn't the CEO supposed to be some middle-aged man? I smiled, completely relaxed. That's probably my dad. I had to come home and inherit everything after dumping a scumbag. Ethan's face flushed, then drained of color. A flicker of regret flashed in his eyes. Chloe, seeing it, gritted her teeth, thinking, why did Claire lie? Testing love like that is so cruel. If it were me, I'd be honest. True love doesn't need tests. Ethan, hearing her, snapped out of regret, anger replacing it. Claire, what's your deal? You hid your identity to test me? That's despicable. Guests, swayed by Chloe's thoughts, nodded, siding with Ethan. I laughed, lips curling sarcastically. Miss Chloe, how do you know I lied? I never said I was ordinary, you all assumed. Besides, you think no one knows about your hotel rendezvous with an older man? Chloe panicked, blurting, I didn't sleep with an old man. Then came her next thought. Damn, how does that bitch Claire know? She didn't realize her thoughts spilled, exposed to all. Seeing the crowd's reaction and Ethan's fury, she knew she'd slipped. But the show was just starting. The screen, once displaying Happy Union, switched to surveillance footage. Video clips played of Chloe sleeping with older men, allegedly for stage roles. Gasps echoed through the hall. Guests looked at Ethan with pity, mockery, and barely concealed amusement. He'd chosen a woman who clearly came with baggage, and worse, he'd eagerly worn the horns. Bitch, Ethan yelled, slapping Chloe across the face, leaving a bright red mark. Caught off guard, Chloe snapped. Ethan, you hit me? You ditched Claire for me, and now you call me dirty? I watched the two of them claw at each other like animals, shaking my head in disdain. Ethan's face got scratched, red marks on his fair skin. He shouted for security, and guards rushed in to pull Chloe off him. Unable to reach Ethan anymore, Chloe turned on me, lunging like a wild animal. Claire, you bitch, without you, I'd still be the untouchable Brooks heiress. Her face twisted with manic rage, mask off. But I came prepared. My secretary, Stephen, grabbed her mid-lunge, yanking her back and tossing her roughly to Ethan's side. Ethan's guards quickly restrained her. Stephen, done with his job, turned to me with a grin. Miss Harper, how'd I do? I nodded. Raise your salary when we get back. Money moves mountains. Even secretaries need self-defense these days. Stephen beamed, wishing he'd been rougher. After the circus ended, I left the Parker wedding behind. Chapter 8. Back at the office, Chloe's carefully crafted online image had collapsed. Photos from the wedding, censored except for her face, went viral. The Parkers scrambled to contain the damage, denying any marriage plans and calling the whole thing kids playing games. Netizens weren't fooled. After all the hype about their epic love, the sudden reversal looked cheap. The Brooks family messed up, and the Parkers dropped them. Classic Parker move, saying it nicely. Chloe, an heiress, did that? No man could stomach it. The Parkers move makes sense, it just looks bad. Exactly. Chloe doesn't deserve Ethan. Whether they split or not, who could blame him? I actually feel bad for Ethan, 2 bad women in a row. Same. Amid the wave of sympathy for Ethan, scandals about the Parker group surfaced. Their medical products were found to contain expired and counterfeit drugs, confirmed by authorities. Ethan's Playboy past, flitting between clubs and parties, surfaced, plus footage from our engagement, him snapping at me for Chloe, clarifying our breakup. The Parker group's reputation tanked. Stocks plummeted, branches shut down, the entire company was severely damaged. I asked Stephen, who adjusted his glasses, saying matter-of-factly, Mr. Cole from next door did it. Also, Miss Harper, Mr. Cole mentioned the downtown coastal city land. We could collaborate. If you're interested, I can set up a meeting. At the mention of the land deal, I smiled slightly. Fine, arrange it. Stephen nodded and left, closing the door behind him before stepping aside to make a private call. Mr. Cole, Miss Harper has agreed to meet. Nathan and I met at an upscale restaurant that evening. Miss Claire, no, Miss Harper now, he said with a small smile. I'll get straight to the point. I'll hand the coastal city land development rights over to the Harper Group, if you agree to marry me. What do you say? I expected something steep, but not marriage. You don't have to decide now. Take your time. Nathan didn't push. His eyes held a quiet warmth, a steady affection that unsettled me in the best way. 6 or 7 years older, rich, handsome, fit. Marrying him didn't feel like a loss. In fact, it felt like a step up. After a moment's silence, I gave a slow nod. That same day, news of the Harper and Cole Group marriage alliance broke online, accompanied by photos of Nathan and me walking hand in hand. Ethan saw it, and lost it. He stormed into my office just as we were closing for the day. Claire, I regret it. I love you. Let's get back together. Your engagement to Cole, it's just to make me jealous, right? I pulled my hand away, voice icy. Ethan, why assume I still love you? Do you really think you're even worthy of my feelings anymore? Before he could respond, I reached for the phone, but Nathan appeared first. He shoved Ethan aside, took my hand firmly, and fixed him with a sharp look. Mr. Parker, manhandling my fiancé in public? That's pretty low. Then he turned to me, expression softening. Claire, I've booked us a table. Lunch together? I glanced at Ethan, who stood fuming but helpless, and smirked. Delighted. I got into Nathan's car, leaving Ethan standing there. I thought he'd finally give up, but no. He kept sending gifts, flowers, diamond necklaces, high-end cosmetics. Back when we were dating, he never bothered with such things. Now, they felt cheap, manipulative, even vile. So I made a call. The Harper Group disrupted every Parker Group deal it could. Old clients quietly dropped Ethan's company. Ethan confronted me, furious. Claire, why are you doing this? I gave him a cold stare. Didn't I tell you to stop bothering me? Keep pushing, and I won't be responsible for what happens to the Parker Group. Ethan paled, fear flickering in his eyes. For the first time, he understood, he couldn't compete with the Harper Group. Without my support, he was nothing. He left defeated, and he never came back. Later, I heard that Ethan, now running the Parker Group alone, crushed the Brooks family business and left them bankrupt. None of my concern. The day the Brooks Group collapsed, I walked down the aisle in a stunning white gown and married Nathan. The Parker Group, despite Ethan's cunning tactics, had no future without my backing. After our wedding, Nathan transferred all his personal assets into my name, looking me in the eye as he vowed. Chapter 9. Back at the office, Chloe's carefully crafted online image had collapsed. Photos from the wedding, censored except for her face, went viral. The Parkers scrambled to contain the damage, denying any marriage plans and calling the whole thing kids playing games. Netizens weren't fooled. After all the hype about their epic love, the sudden reversal looked cheap. The Brooks family messed up, and the Parkers dropped them. Classic Parker move, saying it nicely. Chloe, an heiress, did that? No man could stomach it. The Parkers move makes sense, it just looks bad. Exactly. Chloe doesn't deserve Ethan. Whether they split or not, who could blame him? I actually feel bad for Ethan, 2 bad women in a row. Same. Amid the wave of sympathy for Ethan, scandals about the Parker Group surfaced. Their medical products were found to contain expired and counterfeit drugs, confirmed by authorities. Ethan's Playboy past, flitting between clubs and parties, surfaced, plus footage from our engagement, him snapping at me for Chloe, clarifying our breakup. The Parker Group's reputation tanked. Stocks plummeted, branches shut down, the entire company was severely damaged. I asked Stephen, who adjusted his glasses, saying matter-of-factly, Mr. Cole from next door did it. Also, Miss Harper, Mr. Cole mentioned the downtown coastal city land. We could collaborate. If you're interested, I can set up a meeting. At the mention of the land deal, I smiled slightly. Fine, arrange it. Stephen nodded and left, closing the door behind him before stepping aside to make a private call. Mr. Cole, Miss Harper has agreed to meet. Nathan and I met at an upscale restaurant that evening. Miss Claire, no, Miss Harper now, he said with a small smile. I'll get straight to the point. I'll hand the coastal city land development rights over to the Harper Group, if you agree to marry me. What do you say? I expected something steep, but not marriage. You don't have to decide now. Take your time. Nathan didn't push. His eyes held a quiet warmth, a steady affection that unsettled me in the best way. 6 or 7 years older, rich, handsome, fit. Marrying him didn't feel like a loss. In fact, it felt like a step up. After a moment's silence, I gave a slow nod. That same day, news of the Harper and Cole Group marriage alliance broke online, accompanied by photos of Nathan and me walking hand in hand. Ethan saw it, and lost it. He stormed into my office just as we were closing for the day. Claire, I regret it. I love you. Let's get back together. Your engagement to Cole, it's just to make me jealous, right? I pulled my hand away, voice icy. Ethan, why assume I still love you? Do you really think you're even worthy of my feelings anymore? Before he could respond, I reached for the phone, but Nathan appeared first. He shoved Ethan aside, took my hand firmly, and fixed him with a sharp look. Mr. Parker, manhandling my fiancé in public? That's pretty low. Then he turned to me, expression softening. Claire, I've booked us a table. Lunch together? I glanced at Ethan, who stood fuming but helpless, and smirked. Delighted, I got into Nathan's car, leaving Ethan standing there. I thought he'd finally give up, but no. He kept sending gifts, flowers, diamond necklaces, high-end cosmetics. Back when we were dating, he never bothered with such things. Now, they felt cheap, manipulative, even vile. So I made a call. The Harper Group disrupted every Parker Group deal it could. Old clients quietly dropped Ethan's company. Ethan confronted me, furious. Claire, why are you doing this? I gave him a cold stare. Didn't I tell you to stop bothering me? Keep pushing, and I won't be responsible for what happens to the Parker Group. Ethan paled, fear flickering in his eyes. For the first time, he understood, he couldn't compete with the Harper Group. Without my support, he was nothing. He left defeated, and he never came back. Later, I heard that Ethan, now running the Parker Group alone, crushed the Brooks family business and left them bankrupt. None of my concern. The day the Brooks Group collapsed, I walked down the aisle in a stunning white gown and married Nathan. The Parker Group, despite Ethan's cunning tactics, had no future without my backing. After our wedding, Nathan transferred all his personal assets into my name, looking me in the eye as he vowed, "Wife, I swear I'll never be like Ethan. If I ever cheat on you, you can take everything." I never fully understood why Nathan treated me so well. He never explained, at least, not at first. But later, I found out the truth. He'd loved me silently for years. Now, his wish had come true. And our happiness was complete. The end. And that's a wrap on today's reading here at Booked for Drama. If you felt anything, rage, swoon, secondhand heartbreak, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow drama lovers. If you have any requests, drop them in the comments. Until next time, keep reading, and keep the drama on the page.